This is the Neurosurgery Podcast.
Welcome back to the Neurosurgery Podcast. I'm super excited. Last time Brian Gantwerker was in his car, but now he's live here in San Antonio.
On terra firma. It's good to be here.
Got a new hairstyle. I like it.
Got the flow going.
Okay, every time you come on,
Yeah.
we'll talk about the bad news, right? You're the bad news
I'm
guy.
the bad news bear.
Right? Because you're
Yeah.
the guy at the front line.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us what is going on.
So the latest and greatest. I got a denial recently saying that my vascular surgeon, who's just tremendous, he does everyone who's good in LA, is not going to get paid. And it wasn't necessary for me to use an approach surgeon for an anterior lumbar surgery. And as most people know who do this kind of operation, you need to make an incision in the belly, go retroperitoneal, and you take out the disc and you put an implant in. Well, they were telling me that it wasn't necessary for me to have them in the operating room, and they were holding my reimbursement because of
So ALIF, right?
that. Yes.
Anterior lumbar
or anterior disc replacement. So ADR,
Okay, yeah, ADR even harder.
Yes.
So you know what I tell all my fellows? We as surgeons are stuck. Everything you dictate in that note,
Yeah.
it traps you between an insurance company and the lawyers.
Right.
So you don't use exposure surgeon for an ALIF, and you get a problem, oh boy,
Yes.
you're talking
Bad
big
news.
time bad news.
Bad news on top
and
of bad
insurance companies are wedging from the other side. What is a doctor to do?
Well, I actually invented a smart phrase on in my own brain, actually, where I state that it's critical that we have an anterior approach surgeon there the whole time, not just for the end of the beginning, because I'm not qualified to move the retractors, and moving the retractors could potentially cause a life-threatening injury for the patient. So far we're going to see how that does.
Okay.
But we basically documented the reason why we need an approach surgeon, and also why it's important that he or she is there the whole time.
Yeah, you know, I was in an ALIF case. It was terrible. The surgeons, they had 4 vascular surgeons helping me, right, at one point. I mean, this is dangerous stuff. And I'll tell you, like, I know I can do an approach, but if I get into a problem.
You don't want to be that guy.
So what is the justification for this other than putting sand in the machine?
Well, you mean for them denying it?
Yeah, just like more problems that we have
it's
to deal with,
I
right?
think it's just another, hurdle to jump over. I think it's a way for them to hold payments, because by the time that you figure out what you need to write down to get them to actually release the funds, they've earned another couple million on their interest on their investments.
That's
So it's just a
crazy.
delay in payment, really.
And it's literally whack-a-mole, right? Because next year will be something different.
It'll be something different. So it's like every sort of turn of the screw leads another angle of attack for them. I know we're going to talk about a little bit about interbodies maybe, and why they're refusing to pay for interbody implants now. So it's really, even though we know medically and surgically what we need to do to get the job done, they're just constantly making it so much harder for us. And really, it is truly whack-a-mole, and it's pretty much nonsense at this point.
Yeah, so your response to this is to craft language that's specific to stipulate the need, but does that do anything?
We don't know yet. We're going to find out. We're going to find out the next batch that we just sent in, if they're going to deny it, because my approach surgeon should get paid too, and they shouldn't have to hold on to our funds, because they believe that it's okay for a neurosurgeon to retract the iliac artery and the iliac vein, which some of us are brave enough to do. I personally would not do it, and I would certainly want a vascular surgeon present, God forbid something happens.
For the run-of-the-mill surgeon, they might not even know this is happening, right? And they just don't see it in the P&L.
That's right.
On their sheets, or they work for a hospital and just
right.
nobody cares.
That's right.
So what's an average guy supposed to do in this situation?
I would say make sure that if you're a hospital-based employee, make sure that you do cull some cases from your load. Like if you're a super, super busy guy like you, it's hard to do that, looking at 300 to 500 cases, maybe more a year. But if you're someone's like more 150, 200, you should basically take a segment, like take a month's worth, and just look at your coding and talk to the people who are coding and collecting and making sure you're actually getting your money back, getting your money in from those cases, getting credit for your RVUs.
Yeah, is that the job of the collections people though? Like, shouldn't I just have it on autopilot and know that they're going to do this?
No, I would never. There's 3 C's of a professional
Okay.
and successful practice. It's first of all, it's contracting, coding, and collections. Those are the 3 C's.
Okay.
So you got to make sure you're involved in all 3 of those steps, especially if you're an employed physician. You've got to make sure that that money's getting collected for you on your behalf, because you're dealing with the codes that hopefully you put in yourself, or the contracts that your agency or your institution has made with these insurance companies.
So my standard visibility on this would be limited to seeing something like my accounts receivable being a little higher.
Absolutely.
And I would know nothing else about the case or the patient
That's
or
right.
the code.
That's right.
Wow.
It's very easy to pull the wool over a surgeon's eyes because he or she just wants to work and take care of patients and see their family. That's enough. That's a full-time job in and of itself.
Do you have an AI agent that does this for you?
No. What we do is we're just very, very dogged about following through with our claims.
You know, I'll bet you that you could start a company that could just do audits and biopsies periodically, and surgeons would really, hospitals would really benefit from that.
Yes.
And insurance companies would hate you.
Oh, the tools are available, but there's always another way for them to get you. But certainly that is an avenue worth exploring, I think. But also, if we can, just encourage surgeons to stay involved with the whole process of getting your money after you do your surgery.
Who is advocating for us? I mean, obviously AANS, but like, is it the PAC? Is it is there even a vehicle other than Katie Orico that's out there like watching this, right?
Well,
and you, of course, we're doing it too.
Well, I would say that first of all, we want to thank Katie for inviting me on here, and also Charlotte, who's our
Charlotte Pineda, right?
Who's our
lobbyist.
liaison. But I think more importantly, when you if you ever get in front of your congressperson, it's important that you make certain asks of them, of him or her. And one of the things that we really want them to do is connect prior authorization to payment. In other words, you get authorization for surgery, you do the codes you ask permission to do, you turn that in on a clean claim, on a CMS 1500 form, you get the money for doing
I assume that always happens.
It is not.
That's why you have pre-auth,
no,
right?
No,
we can always do surgery
remember,
for nothing.
It's never guarantee a payment.
It's like airline tickets. You don't have this seat. It's an option to have a seat.
Somewhere, you can be staying like per Spirit Airlines, you have to put a quarter in the restroom to get in.
Listen,
well, we all know what happened to them.
I want to go to law school. I'm going to ask Katie Orico for a recommendation letter. I feel like I'm just so inept in this, and I don't know that a JD is going to make me capable.
No.
It's not, but at least they may be a little bit more scared of me or something
being
like
a
that.
pit bull will make you competent to do this. But then there's Katie too.
Well, listen,
very dogged.
if you want to start a service corporation that does these biopsies, I would be 100% behind that.
We're in it.
I would invest in that.
I think we should do it. We definitely have the critical mass to do it.
Well, Brian, next time there's some really bad news, I want you to come back on the podcast to give it straight to our listeners.
Give it to make everybody nice and depressed. So that's
well,
my
thank
job.
you. Great to see you here in San Antonio.
Thanks, man. Great
Take
to do
care.
it. Thank you, buddy.